nothing to unblock me. Side to side, your big fingers don't faze me. Crazy to say, but nothing gonna stop me. You're talking, look at you. I ain't playing with you. I ain't playing with you. What you say, what you say? Oh, come on, get it longer.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. You know, he's talking into that loudspeaker thing. I think we're surrounded by the police.
That's what happens when you put Slick on the board.
Oh man, what is wrong with him? And then I call him eyeballing me. You know what it means when somebody eyeballs you? You know what that means?
I would think I do, but not when Slick's eyeballing you, so apparently not.
He's walking across the room eyeballing me.
What?
He's taking his laptop out, eyeballing me. I'm like, why are you eyeballing me?
Oh, I know why.
Was there animosity?
I do not know.
Then why do you know why?
Because I know Slick, and now I know the situation.
He has animosity.
Situation, yeah.
Anyway, look what I'm holding up.
You're holding up a picture of The Last Supper. However, we're doing a workaround on that with our in-house artist, Jay Harmon.
And these are all the name of the characters that would be in this kind of format. But I was told that we can't say it out loud, that we're not allowed to talk about this on the air.
Said who?
Somebody. And
Well,
I said,
I disagree.
so you know me. Well, I'm not agreeing, so you know how I am. So here, you see what I'm doing? Look, it moves.
We are actually doing the first breakfast instead of the Last Supper. It is the first breakfast of how we bring everyone around our table and all of our friends and family and colleagues and every which way.
And the guy that's doing it drew this.
And now that's Michael Jackson.
Anybody?
The real Michael Jackson.
Not the one behind me.
Yeah, the one behind you. We thought this is Michael Jackson for the longest time. But apparently it's a lady, so it's not.
It's Michael Jackson's sister.
But Jay, that's Jay's latest piece he did on his pop art series.
You know, I gotta tell you, Jay, you got this down, bro. You're pretty good. You're pretty good. I gotta admit, this is tremendous.
I know.
I'm gonna send it up to the Guggenheim.
Jay is so incredibly talented. Jay, you should contact the people from the Kentucky Derby.
No,
and
they
do
got
some drawings for them.
They got problems. What?
Or
A
the
horse
Belmont,
on
or,
a
yeah.
horse smoking a joint or something?
That's not nice, but
Horses are fun. I love your horses.
we've got Jay Harmon
It's
with
interesting you say that, Jay, because Dawn brought an 1868 recipe for your horse.
Oh, that's really true. This is 1865, the historic Smithville Inn. Teddy opened it. She says, what is this creepy piece of paper? I have to open it carefully because it's kind of cracking here. Here's a list of rates of what it costs to eat and have a drink, and at the bottom of the page, what it costs to feed your horse. Isn't that funny? For Indian corn for your horse, 8 cents. And then it says ditto for 24 hours. So I guess if you feed your horse for 24 hours, it's 25 cents of the corn. Isn't this interesting? All these different rates of what this
You
is.
have to be gentle. You're not being gentle with it. Can we get an envelope? 1865. This is a collector's item.
Here's a toddy for 10 cents. West Indian rum per gill, 10 cents. Right?
She
a
got it home
strong
from her
beer. It
mother's
was at
house.
my parents' house. A strong beer per ditto. What is per ditto? I got to look that up.
That means the same thing over and over again.
10 cents. I know it does, right? Breakfast, 40 cents. 40 cents.
And
for
is that
breakfast.
handwritten?
Shouldn't that be framed and like sold to the Pawn Stars show in Vegas?
Probably so. I just got this on
Stop.
Sunday.
Stop.
150-something years old.
I
Okay,
just got this on
okay,
Sunday,
okay.
and I think it should probably be framed.
And she's like whipping it around out of her purse.
It was
I'm
in my
like,
purse for the past couple
can I-
days.
can I have it?
A museum might pick that up.
And this is rice paper. You know, that old, like they used to do in the Nile when they wrote the Bible?
The rice paper in the Nile when they wrote the Bible.
Yeah, they came out of
None
the
of
Nile.
those things even go together, but close.
No, they had the thing in the Nile, the pond. They took it out, they dry it, and they made paper, rice paper out of it.
Papyrus?
Yeah, papyrus, paper, whatever.
Okay.
But this is unbelievable. And it has a signature on the bottom.
Yeah.
It says John Hancock.
I don't know what it says.
Says
but I
John
don't think it says John
Hancock.
Hancock. It doesn't know what it says, but you're close.
You get your glasses fixed.
But yeah, we got this, and it's kind of funny, right? So you can feed your horses for 5 cents some Indian corn. How crazy?
Isn't this amazing? Think back. I'm holding a piece of paper from 1865. And there were people and horses, apparently, and food and restaurants. And when this was done, this paper was nice and white. It was clean. And I got
And it wasn't in my purse.
I got to ask you, I don't think this is real.
I don't think it is either. Except the way the paper is cracking. I don't know other paper that would crack in the folds like that. So it's some
Now
sort
I
of
know that it's not real.
just different paper. Why?
Because when was the typewriter created?
The printing. Who said that's a typewriter? I thought it was done with ink.
No, honey, that's a typewriter. This is a typewriter. The lettering is typed.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Like a
real either.
computer.
It's real something. I just don't know what it's
You
real
know,
from.
not for nothing. Now, what a bummer. All right, I'm done.
But now we're moving on to our Bitcoin. You want to talk investments? Bitcoin. Our Bitcoin.
I was just
master
going to
in the
ask
house.
how much I get Bitcoin this thing for. Now it's useless. You tell your mom, I said nice. You got me. You got me. 1865 typewriter.
You never know. We can look it up. We're going to put Bianca on it. She'll find somebody.
It's 1865. There was no typewriter in 1865.
When do you think the printing press started?
And if it did, it wouldn't be that clean.
When do you think there was a printing press?
1829.
There you go. Thank you very much for playing.
The first practical
Haven't
one.
you ever been to Epcot in the globe and it shows you all through the Renaissance era and all the printing presses and everything that was done one at a time?
I remember that.
Back to that. But now we can do investments a whole lot easier with, you got Bazooka, as you call him, in the house. I don't know why he calls you Bazooka. But Bazooka it is, and he's now going to commission Jay to do a drawing, which is pretty cool.
Bazooka makes it happen. You were absolutely right. Everybody stood pat on their investments. Everybody, you know, I'm up $250. But not anymore. Maybe I'm down $240. But in that range since I met you. And I didn't invest a lot of money like some people I know over here.
Don't
some
talk
people.
more, yeah.
Well, she's loaded. That's why. She's like an annuity. So she's making thousands of dollars.
He just showed me how I'm going to transfer from one account to another, so we're going to see how well that
got you.
happens. He got me. Thank you, Mike.
Wow. You know, I don't know if you guys are aware, but there was a psychic that came in and told her that she is going to be a multimillionaire this year.
No, she said I was going to come into money, but money can come in various ways. Some of them are beneficial, some of them are not, so.
Well, all those non-beneficial monies that you run into, the guys in here would like to have it.
We shall see what happens. But he was just explaining to Jay about the NFTs of art, which is a kind of a cool conversation.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a popular, growing, sector, digital art and collectibles. I mean, I picked up one of Jay's pieces, thought it was amazing. He's a very talented artist. And, I think it's a good idea to look into this sector and make some money off it. So, it's
Jay's
def-
all in.
Yeah, it's definitely it's just a new and growing sector, NFTs and digital art. You know, digitalizing your artwork, and there's a lot of collectors that are interested in it online. There's obviously a market for it, so.
Well, you do know that this mini gallery is now a zone. We talked about this.
Well, are we now accepting Bitcoin?
We are now accepting Bitcoin. Even Jay is accepting Bitcoin. Now think about this. If you sold your artwork last week and the guy paid you in Bitcoin, you'll be up more than what you asked him for last week. And you can cash in today. You got to pay the tax, of course, but
Could be down more sometimes.
no,
too.
today it's up. It would be up because
Yeah, but you just never know what it's going to do.
I know, but I remember the last time I saw Jay, I wrote the date down and I looked at the number. And then today I'm looking at the number, and if you had bought Jay's art that day and Jay waited until now to cash in, Jay would have been up money. It would have been worth more today than what it was when you sold it.
There's a lot of merchants that do accept Bitcoin that immediately, convert it into USD because of the extreme price fluctuation, volatility behind it. But then there's companies like Tesla that just started taking Bitcoin as a payment method, and they said that they're not converting it into USD. So it's something that they just plan on, holding as a future store of value. So, I mean, if you do, the times that people do pay you in Bitcoin, I would urge you to just not convert it to USD and let it sit for 10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
I sent you an article about Ethereum. That's one of your big ones, right?
Yeah. So I hold Ethereum. I think it's a great technology. We're starting to see the price absolutely explode. And I mean, Ethereum is, it's a very, very big technological platform. Companies are building what's called decentralized applications on it, short for DApps or dApps. So it's a technology for building. There's also a lot of other companies, apps, cryptos that are being built on top of it. And there's a whole new wave of finance coming into Ethereum. I think that's why we're seeing the price explode like we are now. We're seeing a whole new sector evolve called decentralized finance, to where you can do collateralized loans without a bank or a credit check or a third party interfering in that request for a loan. And that's all happening on Ethereum, whereas Bitcoin is clearly a digital gold store of value, also an alternate currency to the dollar. And we're seeing Ethereum start to evolve as a technological platform for other tech companies building on top of it.
You know, it's amazing you're here today, because today I was told that I have 5 days left for a program. Genesis,
Gemini?
that one, Gemini
For what?
something. What they do is they give you stock when you do your first investment, and they don't tell you what the stock is. So
Gemini gave you stock?
Oh, you're talking about Robinhood.
no, I'm
You're
not.
talking about Robinhood.
No, Robinhood did this too, but this is another company my son hooked me up to.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Gemini, it's called.
Okay.
No, Gemini's one that Bazooka hooked you up with.
Oh, then
So
Well, I
you
mean,
got 5
Gemini's a
days?
crypto
no, then
exchange.
it wasn't
It's just-
Gemini.
it's
It's
a different
no,
app,
hold on.
whatever it is.
It's another app.
Yeah.
But
You guys are talking about
Got Slick in the
Robinhood.
back.
Webull.
Webull, okay, yeah, it's similar to Robinhood.
So Webull offered me stock for my first $100 of coin. I get $100 worth of stock. So what I would do is I would sell it the same day of, being that no matter what I make, and then use it on Bitcoin. But it's interesting because I didn't know you were coming on today until this morning. And they sent me a little message that says, cash in your free $250 if you do whatever. Of course, they tell me that the stock usually is very bad when they do this.
Yeah, just gonna give you some random.
But even if I sell it and I get $10, I'm going to put the money towards. But the phenomenon of how to use this technology, this whole Bitcoin thing is going like 100 different places.
Yes.
When you had your show, there were people calling me about doing
People
the
were calling
gallery.
in every day.
Yeah.
Every time you had a show, you got more comments
Yep.
and more emails. Did you get them forward? Did people reply to you?
I was getting a lot.
And you had some at the radio
getting
station.
overwhelming.
The radio
Really?
station wanted to know what the hell is going on, because they were forwarding the emails and that they were getting.
Yep.
And they thought it was a joke. He says, "Are you running a joke?" I says, "No, this guy is legitimate." So you got my son. I didn't know my son, he's like you. He has a whole other world that he does in this. And he's been doing this since his college days. I was wondering how he paid his rent. Thought my son was a dealer or something. I'm like, well, how do you pay your rent? And he's gotten good at it. And he calls me now when he makes a bad deal. Because he plays stocks too. He plays both. And the nice thing is that my son is what's year, 24, 25?
Yep.
So ever since college, he's playing with house money.
Yeah.
And once you get to a certain level, you play with house money. He's the one that called me, hey, Dad, I just made $500 in Bitcoin. I'm going to sell it. And I said to him, why did you sell it? It's come down a little bit from that high mark, and then it went up again, and what have you. That's the one thing about Bitcoin. But there's something I wanted to ask you now that I have you in studio. They say that you can get interest on your Bitcoin. So how does that work?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we're starting to see some new companies emerge. Gemini, the crypto exchange, they just started venturing into this as well. The main company that's become the big player is called BlockFi. So they're based in New York, and they've essentially become like a crypto bank, to where not only are they kind of loaning, they're doing crypto-backed loans, and they're also, I mean, they've done Series B, C, D of fundraising, hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're starting to do some venture capitalism as well and fund startups, and they're bearing a lot of fruit from it. So what they're doing is you can actually, I do it too, but I just do it with only a portion of my crypto. There's definitely an inherent risk with this. You know, you're talking about a new company, and you're talking about a company that's loaning out your crypto. So similar to how banks loan our money, right? Fractional reserve banking, that's what it's called. And the difference is, though, is that, you know, 20 years ago, you could get a decent amount of interest on a CD and a savings account. Now you get 0.0 nothing.
It's crazy, right?
So this company BlockFi is starting to do loans to other companies, and also personalized loans, to where you can take a collateralized loan. So let's say someone like me that actually has absolutely atrocious credit from 10 years ago when I was very irresponsible with my finances. Let's say I want to take $200,000. Let's say I want $250,000 of a loan, right? I could take my Bitcoin, I could put it into BlockFi, and I could request a US dollar loan on that. So I'm putting out my Bitcoin as collateral. I'm getting a loan on it.
And what's the exchange, 1-for-1?
They actually make you put an extra 25 to 50% as collateral to account for Bitcoin's volatility. So let's say I wanted a $200,000 loan, I might have to put up 300 grand worth of Bitcoin. Now, what I can also do, I don't have to do that. That's obviously if I was needed cash for maybe something that I couldn't get a traditional bank loan from, right? Now, let's say I just want to make some money though, for free. I do this as well. I keep some money in BlockFi, and what BlockFi is actually doing with my Bitcoin is they're loaning it out to people the same way a bank is, but they're giving me a cut, 6%.
And what if it loses money?
Your Bitcoin, one Bitcoin is still one Bitcoin. 0.1 Bitcoin is still 0.1 Bitcoin. You're getting the US dollar equivalent on the interest. Gotcha. So they're using the US dollar equivalent to give people loans or companies loans with my money. Again, no different from what a bank does, except I'm getting paid interest. So, I mean, I make right now about $1,000 a month on my interest payments from BlockFi. And yeah, free is free.
But how do you?
So you're making money kind of like a dividend would be made on stocks.
That's what they're trying to do. That's exactly, you hit it right on the head. They
It's
wanted
really
to make
just
it look like
same thing again. Think of it like a bank. You know, banks used to give you a high yield on a CD or a savings account because they're using your money to loan people for mortgages, etc. They no longer do that. You know, but this company BlockFi is doing that. It's a huge sector. It's great for the growth of crypto, and we're starting to see that. I mean, crypto is a real financial asset now, and we're seeing it used now in a real way with investment banks. It's pretty cool stuff.
So,
very cool.
but my question is, when they use your money and they loan it out.
Yeah.
If the investments, the ones that go down, do they guarantee that you're going to stay whole?
So there's your risk. So it's one thing when the market's going up, it's very easy for them to give a high yield. When the market's going down, they actually recently lowered their rate. Now, I would have actually been concerned if they didn't lower their rate, because that would have red flagged me on some Ponzi
Correct.
stuff. But the fact that they did lower their rate yield shows that they are conscious of risk. But yeah, the risk in holding your crypto in a centralized company like that, if they're making the wrong decisions with where they're, concentrating their assets,
Right.
if the company were to go bankrupt, you're losing your Bitcoin. I do it with a portion of my Bitcoin. I've done an immense amount of research on BlockFi. I actually do think they're a good company. It's definitely not a Ponzi. Else I wouldn't keep my own money in it, but I do keep the majority of my Bitcoin in a cold storage offline wallet because it's a scarce and precious asset. But again, I've done a lot of research on BlockFi. They're a good company. They're doing the right thing with their money. They're registered with the New York State Watchdog, so they're on the up and up.
Do you
But
keep-
things happen.
So you keep your cryptocurrency, which is non-existent because it's not tangible, but it's a number, on an offshore account someplace in cold storage?
No, it's not an offshore account. So I keep the bulk
FBI
of
is
my,
watching.
Like cold storage somewhere?
No, I keep the bulk of my Bitcoin and other cryptos basically on like a little USB thumb drive.
Not in the freezer in cold storage.
No, it's cold storage is the term. Cold storage means that it's not online. That's what that term means. So you have what's called a hot wallet and a cold wallet. A hot wallet is somehow connected to the internet or a centralized company like Gemini or Coinbase, and then there's what's called a cold wallet or hard wallet, where it's a little thumb drive. You plug it into your computer only when you want to use it. When it's not plugged into your computer, it's offline.
It doesn't
Can't
leave a
be hacked,
footprint.
Can't be nothing.
Yes.
So I have it in this little USB drive for crypto assets.
Wow, Jay, you got all this?
Yeah, I'm taking notes. I'm,
I'm watching Jay think about this whole thing.
Jay, it's the information he's giving you.
Am I
is-
talking Chinese?
Mandarin, but I'm,
Well, that's what I meant.
But
yeah,
the
Mandarin.
information he's giving you is great because as an artist, I look at things as appreciation and depreciation in everything in life. When you have beautiful art around you, you don't have anything happening with it yet until you sell it. So people have argued with me, yeah, but Freddie, you gotta take it and move it. And okay, I get that. I get all that. But while art is there and you have it on the internet so that people can buy into it, all of a sudden, if you do the crypto deal, you have more people doing things with crypto than you are with stocks and bonds. It's just psychology right now. A lot of the young kids want to feel like they're accomplishing something. So they're getting into it. I see more and more baseball players are doing that than we talked about.
Tom Brady just started doing it.
Unbelievable.
Paris Hilton and Tom Brady are launching a whole new NFT collectible thing. Someone actually just bought Tom Brady's signed rookie card. Excuse me. Where I guess, I mean, a Michael Jordan rookie card is considered like the be-all end-all, but Tom Brady's autographed rookie card is considered one of the top sports collectibles in history to own. Someone just purchased it at auction, Christie's. They paid in Litecoin with it, $1.7 million, and they used Litecoin as a payment method. Because how are you supposed to pay $1.7 million for something? You know how much a wire
unbelievable.
transfer is at a bank? You know what the fee is for that?
And
They
you
send
bring it over.
Litecoin.
You bring it over in a little putt-putt car.
That unbelievable?
So we're seeing it adopt.
is
I
very
mean,
believable,
You know,
yes.
crypto is starting to adopt.
And the bottom line here is, Jay, when your art is hanging on the wall and you're working on something spectacular, all of a sudden it becomes more spectacular on the wall to get it, because there are different ways of buying, as he was mentioning, the art. You know, you can buy even the visual of the art and have it done visually in your house, and you can move the real art into a safe or something else or whatever. There's just so many things that
People
you can
are
do. now.
literally taking a computer monitor putting it in their living room and putting the
Isn't that right?
The art on
and
it.
they're putting art right as illuminated art right in their
yeah. And at the end of the day, what's really the difference between these, pieces of art hanging on the wall right now and having it on a monitor? It seems like it's a little weird. I guess it's strange. We're just so used to things,
It's totally
but
changed.
it's really not that different.
Well,
Well,
I bought a Cameo for Chuck's birthday.
Yes,
It
you
made
tell
me think of that because when you download Cameo,
Yeah.
same thing. Like, don't lose the file because this is your gift. And here
Right.
it is. It's a downloadable Cameo.
Yeah.
Same thing.
And the digital world looks even nicer
I
because
bought
you
a
can put
cameo
lights.
of Rick. I paid Ric Flair to do a cameo for
Oh,
my
you did for-
employees for Christmas.
And now you have it,
You
right?
got-
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's the download.
Yeah.
But it's amazing the way things are changing. And everybody, I remember when I first talked about coin, I was given all the negative.
Yeah.
And that's why I didn't get involved in it. And it's not true. Do your own research and you'll find out. But I like it for the artists. We did a show last night with Barbara and Amy at the radio station, and they talked about how everything has changed because of what we just went through. And now artists have to be business people, you have to be a marketer, the whole nine. And I can't think of any other fantastic solution to everybody who's doing this right now. I think it's a home run.
It's true. All right, let's take a commercial break. Any questions, give us a call at 888-994-4995, Studio A. We'll see if Bianca's ever heard of Bitcoin. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Tracy McDonough, owner and founder of Healing Moments. Healing Moments is a healing playroom, a mind, body, spirit center. Our service is love and compassion, and the environment is soothing, peaceful, and inviting. Every area is designed for healing and peace. We deliver services such as massage therapy or lymphatic drainage, energy healing and Reiki, chakra balancing, physical vascular therapy for circulation and pain, vibrational medicine using frequencies and oils, and music in order to calm and relax your mind, body, and spirit. We also offer detoxification services using infrared sauna, ionic foot baths, and power plates. All of our modalities are designed to reduce stress, anxiety, induce relaxation, relieve pain, and provide detoxification and inflammation reduction for optimal healing and wellness.
Looking for a cool, laid-back space with great people and even better drinks? You can't lose. The Artful Dodger, Boca Raton's hidden gem. A good, old-fashioned local bar is hard to come by, but not anymore. The Artful Dodger is a fun, casual place to sit back and relax. Located at 495 Northeast 20th Street in Boca Raton, you'll find your new favorite bar. The Artful Dodger. We'll see you there. Looking for a place to get your ice cream fix? Look no further than Cold Stone Creamery. At Cold Stone, we make our ice cream fresh every single day in store. We have over 20 different ice cream base flavors and over 30 different mix-ins to choose from. We also have plenty of signature creations if you don't want to go ahead and choose your own. To end your creation, you can put it in one of our freshly made waffles. We have ice cream cakes, ice cream sandwiches, milkshakes, smoothies, banana splits, sundaes, and so many other things for you to come check out and enjoy. We are the official ice cream store of the Brooklyn Cafe. Hope to see you soon, and remember, it's always a great day for ice cream.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Hi guys, today's message is brought to you by Dignity Memorials. You know, we are all going to pass away eventually, so why not pass away with some dignity and plan your funeral at Dignity Memorials? You know, we all have a lot of important events in our life, and a funeral is very important as well. It is a very difficult time, and Dignity Memorials can help you plan this out. If you mention the Brooklyn Cafe show, you get a special discount. You can find them at digitymemorialfuneralbenefits.org. It is never too early to start planning for that very important time in your life. Now back to Freddie and Dawn.
Well, now that I know that we all gonna die.
We're all going to die at some point. May as well die with dignity.
Oh man, we're all gonna die.
Look how much better it is when we actually turn the lights on.
What?
Look how much better it looks when we actually turn the lights on.
But the lights weren't on?
No.
Hey Blake, how did you feel? You know you're gonna die.
That was a
You
nice
know
job,
you're gonna
Bianca.
drop dead any second now.
That might be
Get
too
this
harsh.
done.
Do you know what the rate in Florida is of people that are going to pass away?
100%.
100%. So
You know you guys are playing with my mind
you
right
got
now.
100%. It
You
will
know
have
you're
to-
gonna die, so do this now.
Jeez, you know,
Wow.
you just gotta die with dignity. That's what it's all about. We got it all in place.
Oh man.
I don't think you can quite buy it with crypto, but Mike Maki used to have a show on WNN on Bitcoins and cryptocurrency. And Mike, I would get texts the next morning that were postmarked on an email in the middle of your show. It would come in and it would go to the radio station, the radio would send it to us. Who was that? I didn't write the information down. It was like instantly that people had to have so much information about you, about what was going on and how to get involved. Were you getting inundated with stuff?
I was, yeah. I mean,
No more QR code for you. But you know what it shows?
It was a lot.
That it works, though.
There were people. You had a big
That
following
the
in New York.
media, the medium that we use, radio, it works.
even
People
just with my own personal friends on Facebook, it was starting to get pretty overwhelming. Lot of messages, and I mean, I love this. I love spreading adoption. Like, I'm obviously super passionate about it, but yeah, it was a lot. It was. I'm a little too busy with my career. I wish I would have. I wish I would have liked to keep doing it, you know, but it was getting a lot.
And that's the reaction people are dying to get when they do shows and they do all of that. And here it is, you're so busy with everything else. You're like, it's too much. I can't handle it all. And everyone's else like, please bring it. But it's a topic that people are learning about. People that invested in the beginning of the year say they've made, like in October to now, have made tremendous gains.
Yeah.
In a short amount of time. What was it in October? Do you remember?
I mean, it was definitely still under 20,000. Bitcoin was still under 20,000.
It was.
And then all the altcoins. I mean, Ethereum had to be like $300 to $400. You know what happens when Bitcoin reaches such a high price like it has now? People actually start to have what's called unit bias, where they think that Bitcoin's so expensive, they flock to the small altcoins.
Interesting.
Because they find them more attractive because they're cheaper, and they kind of develop what's a unit bias. So what happens when Bitcoin gets to a price like it is now? We're seeing it just sit here,
Yeah.
and it's actually boring. It's consolidating and it's just boring. But we're seeing, I mean, 10x and 100x pumps in all these other smaller coins. So
We talk about that a lot. There was this one coin that I bought because I like the name of it. And Freddie's like, I'm going to dump it. I'm going to dump it. I go, you can't
It
dump it.
tripled.
And it went down for a little bit. Now all of a sudden it's
It tripled.
getting bigger. And I just like the name of it.
I'm ready to sell
I
it
like
now.
the name of it.
It made perfect sense to me. And he keeps selling it. And I keep buying more. And you keep selling it because how can you?
But I'm
the
playing with
name-
house money. I
but
need
the
it.
name is like so
I needed 50
us.
bucks. What can I tell you? I didn't get rid of it. And then I'll go back and buy more. Now, I got some breaking news. Bitcoin concept has been used, I know, in Puerto Rico since 1964.
What do you mean, the concept?
Well, In Puerto Rico, they have something you can gamble on called pedazos. So it is like a number, like 1777, right? That number, there's 100 tickets or 1,000 tickets, and it's sold all over the island. So you can buy pieces of the 17777 ticket. And if that hits, you get a percentage of the winnings.
It's more like a lottery, though.
It is a lottery. But if you think about the concept about having a Bitcoin, and you can buy into Bitcoin, it's really the same thing using a different concept. The one in Puerto Rico never took off because nobody wanted to buy a piece of a ticket. You know, they didn't understand the concept that something is better than nothing. You could have bought all of them if you went over the island and found all of them, which is impossible because it was
But I had
dispersed.
someone who bought Bitcoin in October, and they said they've made over $1 million since October. I mean, they invested a decent.
That's a
why I'm
whole lot of
asking
buy.
you.
It's a whole lot of buy.
But if you bought it at 20 and it's
I mean, it's
almost
only really
at
done like a
60
5x
now.
since then, unless they
Maybe
put
he invested a lot of
into
money.
it.
Yeah, I'm saying, but if he invested a nice chunk, and you think at 20, it's almost, it did at some point here went to 60 and above, you're making a decent amount.
It makes I'm telling you, my son called me when it went up. He made $500. He didn't put a lot of money into it, but he cashed out because he needed the $500.
You see, Elon Musk was on SNL,
Yeah.
right? It's the first car that you could buy with crypto, wasn't it? The Tesla?
Yeah.
And he's at Ashburgers.
I wasn't even aware of that. Interesting.
He announced that Saturday night.
Yeah.
So it's just like he's genius on a whole nother level.
Oh, yeah.
He sees things we can't see.
We say that
You know,
about-
people laugh about that, but you know, a dog whistle, you can't hear it.
You can't laugh about it. I mean, guys like Elon Musk, I mean, the history of anything, they're all called crazy, right? Everyone says, you know, you can't, it's impossible, right? We need people like Elon Musk, you know? These are the guys that are crazy enough to venture into something, and they're smart enough to pull it off, and they push technology forward for society, period.
Do
I mean,
you
we're
thi-
talking about sending people to Mars. I mean, that's, you know.
No, living on Mars.
crazy ideas, right?
Hey, listen,
Living on Mars
I think it's amazing. I think he's a visionary.
is what he wants to do. Do you think the concept, the idea sells, or the person that is delivering the idea sells?
I think it's a mix of both.
So a good deliverer can sell a bad idea?
Yeah. You
Really?
see that? Oh, yeah, I think we see that plenty with all sorts of products. And
The Ginsu knife
yeah.
cuts through metal.
But that was amazing
It
when
was
it
a great
first came.
product,
It was
but-
amazing for 5 minutes.
But look at the delivery on it. You still remember it. How many years ago? Was it 40 years ago?
I was thinking about Carvel ice cream, and you went to Ginsu knife.
Same thing, though. It's like a classic in advertising. It's the delivery of the medium is
Do you
Yes,
know there was
right
an
there.
award for the worst commercial ever made every year? Every year. And Carvel won it 4 years in a row. It was the worst. The one with the father talking about the cake thing, the whaler. So it was voted the worst commercial ever.
But imagine actually putting a commercial on, I don't think you could, on crypto. And all of that information, I'm sure there's regulations that you can't do it.
It is a
There's
yes,
commercials
there is.
right now for crypto.
Are there?
Yeah, there's an asset firm called Grayscale, and so they're basically like a crypto fund, and they have commercials all the time, you know, on mainstream media outlets, on ABC, NBC, and they're doing what's called a drop gold marketing push right now. Most of their commercials focus around extreme exaggerations of people hoarding gold and pushing drop gold for Bitcoin as we're in this digital world we're in. But they have commercials. They're successful too.
You know, it's interesting when you think about that. People who have gold bars actually wherever they're holding them, you got to take those and sell them, I guess, to get the cash if you want it. And I don't know if the gold ever goes bad. I don't know if old cash ever goes bad.
No, gold.
If you've got a $100 bill from 50 years ago, is it still good?
Of course.
Of course, you're just losing purchasing power. That's the problem. I could actually speak from personal experience. In 2015, I sold some gold and silver. And it was a pain in the A, to say the least. The silver No pawn shop in Boca wanted to touch it. Everyone said the same thing. I got too much. I got too much. I don't even know what to do with it. Okay. Sold it on eBay. I had to sell it on eBay. I had to pay freaking shipping costs, PayPal fees, eBay listing fee. My gold sold to one pawn shop. I mean, the guy gave me gold was probably gold was probably $1,300 an ounce. He gave me, I think, $1,000 for the ounce. So, it's tough when you're talking about selling gold. It's not practical anymore. You have to store it. Usually, it's in a safe. I mean,
Sell it in
transferring
crypto.
it is a real pain in the A.
Sell it in crypto.
Bitcoin's becoming a digital gold. I mean, it's easier to transfer. It's easier to use.
It's funny because there was a time when people used to say, hold on to gold
And cash.
because it's a commodity. And it's funny because if you think about it, if you had a $1,000 bill in 1800, as opposed to today, it was worth more back then than it is today.
Another thing too with gold is we're seeing the last year in this economic environment that our country's in. This is it's supposed to be the perfect storm for gold to thrive. I mean, the narrative behind gold is safe haven, and it's always been hedge against inflation. We've seen a record amount of money printed, and we've seen the price of gold actually it's gone down, completely stay the same. If anything, that's
Well,
it.
it's too much of a market on money, which is what
I
gold's
think
supposed to be
Bitcoin's
based
eating
on.
its lunch, to be honest. And cash, forget it. I mean, we're just look at what's going on right now. Food prices, gas prices, all commodity prices, lumber. I mean, we're through the roof. You can't even deny that inflation isn't real right now. The government's irresponsibly printing record amounts of money, and holding cash is just not a good idea. You have to buy assets right now.
I think that was one of the most important things that anyone can understand. If you don't understand cryptocurrency and people say, I don't understand it, it doesn't make sense, I can't wrap my head around it. The one thing that everyone can wrap their head around is cash.
Yeah.
It's a tangible, you hold it, it's not gaining value. A $10 bill is a $10 bill if you hold it. If you
But it's not
invested
worth
in
$10.
something, right. So what is
But
that
how
$10
come you can't
buy
wrap
you anymore?
your head around the fact that it's not worth $10?
Well, what is $10 now? $10 is
$7.33.
It's like 3 tanks of gas, 3 gallons of gas. I mean, it's not even.
Wait
so
till
it
tomorrow.
changes.
That's
You can
changing.
I
about a
have friends
gallon,
right now that are going out of business in the construction industry. They can't
Can't afford the
they
overhead.
can't compete, and they can't competitively bid against larger companies because the price of lumber is so high.
Is that all coming out of COVID?
Pardon?
Is that all because you think we're coming out of COVID? The businesses that sustained for the year now cannot.
I don't think it's necessarily COVID. I think these are just the consequences of a government printing money. I mean, this is
And they knew it.
you can't. Yeah, you can't.
They knew it.
You can't print money.
It's funny because, let me not say that, but politicians that have a lot of money in Congress are upset not because of what's being printed. They're fighting Biden because their fortunes are now are worth less. Okay, so the difference now, from what I understand, is they are getting into the Bitcoin currency, into the currency market, because where today it was worth this, and then tomorrow, after Biden's money starts to print out more money, then net worth went down. So what they're doing is they're taking the difference right now and buying the coin before tomorrow.
People want to protect their assets, right? I mean, most wealthy friends that I have, most people on Twitter, big guys on Twitter I follow, this is what everyone's doing. They're buying a lot of real estate. Real estate, in my opinion, is not even a bubble right now. In 2008 it was a bubble. They were fudging,
Documents.
Everything they were doing. We all know what that, right? The
Never
mortgage
heard of it.
meltdown, all that. This is different because they're flocking to real estate to purchase a hard asset. It's not necessarily that real estate's going up and stocks are going up. It's that the dollar's going down.
You see, you're betting on something futuristic. And it's really funny because when we started streaming, we asked people to do this. And even Major League Baseball told me 12, 14 years ago, nobody watches sports on their phone. Get out of my office. True story. And what's happening is, if you jump in now, you got a head start on everybody, even though you can't see it yet. So it ain't about understanding. It's just common business sense. And we have that.
And diversify it out. All right, let's take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Jay, see what's going on in the world of pencil art. Maybe we do some digital
Sharpen
art.
your pencil. Where's your eraser, by
I'm
the
hearing
way?
digital art in my head, Jay, so maybe this is a new thing we're going to be working on.
Well, sounds
Digital
great to me.
art. And this is a guy you can get
This
away
is
with
what's
that.
in my head at the moment. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Dr. Laura Ellick, a licensed psychologist practicing in both Florida and New York with over 20 years of experience, addresses the negative thoughts that are keeping you stuck in your lifestyle patterns. Dr. Ellick works with children, teens, and adults, from anxiety and depression to eating disorders, addiction recovery, and medical issues. Making a deep interpersonal connection is a magical part of the therapeutic relationship. Contact Dr. Laura at 516-635-6186 or at Laura Ellick, ELLICK.com for a personalized consultation. It's time to remove the blocks that are preventing you from achieving your dreams. Call Dr. Laura Ellick at 516-635-6186 or at LAURAELL.
40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873. Looking for a place to get your ice cream fix? Look no further than Cold Stone Creamery. At Cold Stone, we make our ice cream fresh every single day in store. We have over 20 different ice cream base flavors and over 30 different mix-ins to choose from. We also have plenty of signature creations if you don't want to go ahead and choose your own. To end your creation, you can put it in one of our freshly made waffles. We have ice cream cakes, ice cream sandwiches, milkshakes, smoothies, banana splits, sundaes, and so many other things for you to come check out and enjoy. We are the official ice cream store of the Brooklyn Cafe. Hope to see you soon, and remember, it's always a great day for ice cream.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
This segment is brought to you by Trip Deliveries. You know what really makes me upset? The fact that every single time I go to eat somewhere out, like Uber Eats or Grubhub or whatever, delivery fees are 15 to 40% of the food. I went to get a poke bowl the other day. It was $16 delivery fee. I was so upset. But that was until I found Trip Deliveries. The delivery fee is $2 to $3. It is good for restaurants because they don't charge them that much, and the drivers get to keep the delivery fee and the tip. It is awesome for me because I don't have to pay so much with deliveries, and it's great for the driver and for the restaurants. That sounds like a win-win-win to me. You can go check them out at tripdeliveries.com. You should definitely use them for your future use of food. Now, back to Freddie and Dawn.
And we're back.
And you got hungry thinking of that now. She's like, I need a sandwich.
I actually am hungry. And do you guys hear that? That's actually my Trip Deliveries here right now.
Nice job.
I gotta tell you, Trip Deliveries is going to bust it out when it starts doing their thing, because from now you bring in food all the time, right? I don't do that. I usually go get it because it was so freaking expensive to order it whatever they brought.
Yeah, Slick has his own delivery service. It's called Israel.
Israel's delivery
Israel's
service.
delivery service goes only to Slick, though, apparently. But there are times
really-
I'll sit here and I'll go
that's
to order
good.
lunch for us, and it's $34 for a salad and a sandwich. And by the time you're done, you think this is the most ridiculous thing ever that I don't end up eating, or I go down to the restaurant down there and we pick something up. Because sometimes the delivery fees are crazy.
It's more than the food.
Well, no, the food actually, I think they bury the fees in because you can get food for 49 cents.
Yeah, but I never heard of a $21 hamburger.
But they upcharge it in the food. That's exactly what it is.
And they won't even take Cripcoin.
They're
They won't take
upcharging it in
nothing.
the food.
$21 for a burger, you gotta be out of your mind.
Is there a thing that you can actually put in your crypto card as like a debit card?
Yeah,
things?
there is. I mean, there's different apps. There's an app called Flexa. It's the Speedin app. Gemini, integrated into Gemini, has some different merchants you can use to pay. Litecoin has what's called the Litecoin block card. And there are actually BlockFi, that company we were talking about, the loans, they just launched a Bitcoin rewards card. So like how these other cards give like 3% cashback rewards, this gives you 3% back in Bitcoin.
Wow.
So again, it's just another way the sector is growing, you know, with either crypto-backed debit cards and also crypto rewards cards. I think over time we'll keep seeing payment and merchant adoption progress.
That's very clever.
Yeah.
And Jay, I'm hearing digital art with you.
Digital art, it seems like it's a, you know, it's a thing. I think, you know, that I'm going to really be looking into it quite a bit now with how to use the art that I'm doing without having to create it on a computer. Before, digital art meant created on a computer. And now it doesn't have to be created on a computer, I guess. It's, you know, to
You
be,
do both.
Yeah, do either one. And I guess you could integrate the two and, you know, and do that. So it's something, it's really fascinating. And,
Well, one of the differences with you is that you can actually get a computer that you can draw on.
right.
And you can get away with that because a painter has to copy or do something like what's over your shoulder
Right.
is a little bit different.
Right. I mean, I have the technology, I know the technology that can be done to create that on a computer, okay, with Photoshop and other.
I'm talking about you drawing it on the computer. There are tablets now where you draw
I know.
your works.
I have one, but I don't use it.
But this is what, you know, their art medium. If you can take, I mean, look about that woman above us. Imagine turning that into a digital piece and then.
That's amazing. That's what I'm
Right?
talking about.
Right.
That it's old technology with new marketing, and the outcome is spectacular.
Right.
And the other thing is that you're dealing with people who deal in that world, like Bazooka here, and they're a little bit more open to investing
Right.
because they understand the concept. But they got them there was taking chances.
He said our little crypto isn't bad. It's a pretty decent company.
Or is it? Yeah, Jill told me the background. There. He said I was going to sell it when it went down to like $5 or something.
It's not even.
I'm
$1.
done with that.
It's like.
But now it's
fractions
up there
of
in
a penny.
25 or something. It's doing well.
It's fractions. I know.
Fractions, but you know, everybody wants to be on a winner. You can spend $150 billion on a baseball team and they lose. Who the hell wants to be part of that? But a winner, even if it goes up a fraction.
Yeah, but you never know when something's going to turn around to be a winner.
That's true too.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. You
I
never
think the
know.
one the coolest thing and the most beautiful thing that I can say about cryptocurrencies and even actually stocks right now and apps like Robinhood, even though I don't particularly like Robinhood, but I think what it's done is literally the first time in history it's given the average Joe a completely fair shot
Agreed.
compared to Wall Street. It's finally given the average Joe a chance to get not only get the jump on astute investors, right? It's completely leveled the playing field. And you know what? And I don't need my accountant, I don't need a financial advisor. I can be my own financial advisor. I have access to all this information on the internet. I literally don't even have to go to college anymore. You can literally find YouTube videos of exactly what you want to go to college for, and you can learn it on YouTube. This is what fascinates me about the internet. And you tie that into the markets and how we can finally pick and choose our own investments, stocks, and crypto, and have a completely level playing field.
I like the fact that it gives both sides a
amazing.
chance to do
Yeah.
something. And if you are swift in business and you come up with, that's why I think turning this into that kind of sale is enormous.
Right.
I'm thinking about doing something also with AMP as a production company, taking in and going in a different direction with this thing, because I like Wave of the Future. I like things that grow. You know, living on Mars all of a sudden doesn't seem like a crazy idea. And remember we talked about I wanted to go in that whole capsule thing, and you guys laughed at me. They picked 5 civilians going up with no astronaut. I mean, think about this. You took 1969 and forward, or 64, whatever the hell it was. And they were talking about you got to go through this training to become an astronaut. That's not what they want anymore. So things are changing.
But there's been an equal leveling field. It's like what we do with COVID. Technology now has given us the same opportunities that the major networks have that we can do from here, and we can go anywhere. And some of these apps and these, like Robinhood, I know, Blake, you said you're able to use Robinhood.
Yeah.
If people like that app, I don't know, but things like that.
And the funny thing is that when we started streaming, I love to see all the mistakes they made at the beginning on NBC, ABC, and CBS, the Grammys. Everybody was going through all these growing pains. And you know why? Because we went through it.
See, the Golden Globes is not airing on NBC this year.
Yeah, but that's a racial thing, I heard.
I know. Is that unbelievable? I mean,
Why
everything is
that? Why?
apparently because there's no racial equality on who they nominate.
There wasn't one black person nominated.
But think that the networks are stepping
Not
up and
one.
saying something.
So they're not going to carry it. You know, the funny thing is, though, getting back to the technology of it, they're using a technology that's easy, but it's not the most secure. And once again, if you look at the pipeline and the oil that's going on, gasoline is going to go up 10 cents from here to Sunday because they can't get it back online because somebody decided to hack in and say, I want $1 billion to turn it back on. And the FBI got involved, and the rumor is they can do it. And there's no way around it. No way around it. I heard they got through because of the people they work with, not because of the company. So you can have all the security in the world and still be vulnerable. But it comes down to, again, and they want it in Bitcoin. They want it in currency because it's not traceable. Good and bad of the business. But I like the fact that you have Jay in here. And Jay, I'm going to tell you this, well, what you do is a Bitcoin. I've done artists, we have artists, I've known plenty of artists in my life, but to do what you do is very rare. This is as rare as anything else because of and then he's good at it.
And the Marilyn Monroe piece is up over the window. I mean, everything in here is for sale. That your horses, Jay, are just on a whole
Amazing.
other
Oh,
level.
thank you. And yeah,
Amazing.
I love horses, and you know this kind of work is fun too. The celebrity. I just on the show my upcoming show that will be airing on Thursday. We just did that. It's I'm doing a piece about Charlie Chaplin, a pop art piece of Charlie Chaplin, and I think the younger folks probably don't know who he is, but it's good to even move that up into today's world with digital and everything. Bring the old to the new. I like that. I really do, to kind of show a little bit about history.
Wasn't Charlie Chaplin like the first talkie movie?
He was in the silent films, and he crossed over into
Sound.
into talking films.
So how cool would it be to take him from silent films to talkies to the digital world,
The
right?
digital
Like
world, right, go to the
iconically,
next step. Yeah,
it would
next
be an
level.
iconic work of art as an NFT to take him through the stages as to where it is now, because
Right.
he is a classic.
Right, go through, and
How cool would that
and bring
be?
up all from the beginning all the way up. Yeah.
Yep.
Wasn't he knighted, Charlie Chaplin?
He
Isn't it
was.
Sir?
He was Sir
Charlie?
Charles Chaplin. And,
He was knighted.
he lived to be 88. And, he had quite his first career, he he was another genius. You know, like you're talking about Elon Musk. I mean, Charlie Chaplin was like that because he visualized all these things on how to make films and how to actually create things that had never been created before. And he saw all these things, and through his career, he went and really made a lot of things like that. And another one who was very inventive like that was Orson Welles, and he was another genius. If you've ever seen the movie Citizen Kane, or more recently Mank, which is about the making of Citizen Kane. And he was a true genius in what he did, and those kind of people are the ones who really have made things, I guess, evolve, because they take it from this step. They have these ideas and they bring it up to the next thing, the next level, and that's what we want to do. You can't stay in the past.
If you could interview one famous person, who would it be?
Boy, that would.
That's a good
You
one.
mean a living famous person or?
No, whoever.
Anyone.
Anyone. I would. If I could talk to anyone, probably my number one pick would probably be Jesus. Because
Number one answer.
It's a good answer.
I was gonna ask Mark,
I just think it would be who would you like to talk to? But and then of all the people, I think in history, I have always, my whole life, I have been fascinated with, and I've read just about everything about him, about Abraham Lincoln.
It's number two answer.
Good one.
And he's another one who was, just a simple person, but boy was he smart. I mean, he was,
Lived in a tough time.
and he went through a lot. So there were and all the people who, it seems, with this intelligence and able to move things ahead, and that's what you need.
How about you, Mike?
I would say Da Vinci or Nikola Tesla.
That's
yeah.
cool.
I think he was smarter. He's up there with Einstein. He gets underlooked. Tesla gets underlooked.
Oh, Tesla. He's.
He does.
Interesting. It's kind of cool when you think about it. Actually having a conversation with no propaganda and no interviews in the way, just sitting down and having the conversation and finding out what it is. Imagine it could be a whole lot different than what we know in history.
What about you?
Eleanor Roosevelt.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why. She's always been like this woman I wanted to know. So she
Interesting.
did a lot for special needs too. How about you?
The pharaohs. So I can figure out how they did the pyramids.
Can you imagine actually finding out
Any
never
pharaoh will
find out.
do, by the way. I want to know how they built the
how they
pyramids.
built
Yeah,
it?
but the pharaohs really had nothing to do.
Well, they would know what's going on.
The aliens did for sure.
Oh my goodness. It's very
Well, whatever.
simple.
What?
They had 2 million Jewish slaves and 20 years.
I don't think there were. I don't think there was
slaves.
I don't think there was 2 million Jewish slaves at the time.
There was.
But imagine, but how did they get them so I mean, we know the story of Passover, right? And the fleeing, the exodus, but so perfectly in alignment.
Because listen, at the end of the day, human beings in any portion of history, they're just as smart as we were, but just with the technology that they had available. The way that we perfectly engineer a building in Dubai or the Twin Towers, you know what I'm saying? The way that we perfectly engineer a modern day building, that same brain was in someone else's head 2,000 years ago, and they were engineering pyramids.
You know, I'll give you the Great Wall of China. I get it. But for them to build pyramids that are powered by the sun in a certain angle, on a degree, on that type of year, over and over again, I got to tell you, I would love to meet who the hell designed
There's
it.
a really good YouTube video on topic, but off. There's a guy that single-handedly recreated Stonehenge. So there's all
Really?
these conspiracy theories out there. Go on YouTube, you'll find them. There's a guy that by himself,
Something
one
just came out
person,
on that. That's
he
true.
recreated Stonehenge by himself.
Something
using
just came out on
physics.
that. On
Pure
that whole,
physics.
On that whole thing.
This is true. Maria says,
That's
Spot
wild.
Facial by Maria. Hopefully she'll join us one day this week on the show. She has a special reflexology and foot detox this week through the weekend.
That goes with the pyramids.
You should go down.
I want her to Maria, I want you to pyramid the feet.
You should go get your, you like the reflexology on your
I
feet.
do. I really do.
And the foot detox.
But it ain't even my feet no more. Now it's my hip, my right hip, and my and my knee.
You're getting old.
I'm getting old,
It's coming
man.
from your back.
Thank you. And the front, and the
No,
sides,
it's
and
coming
everything
from your
else.
back, your hip to your knee to your, yeah, it's all, you know.
It's like that
the
song,
head bone's
right?
connected to the hip,
That's
yeah,
the
that bone. It's all connected.
Yeah.
Let's take
There, while you were talking about that, I just thought of a place here, if you've never been to it, where it was a genius guy created this place. It's in Homestead. It's called the Coral Castle. Look it up. This guy created all this stuff.
I've heard it's spectacular. I've never been.
It's all he did it himself, and they didn't even know how he moved all this stuff for all this huge coral doors that he had that would open and close, and everything was done. And they said that the guy was a bit eccentric. I mean, he did all this for a girlfriend that he had that was like in the 9th grade or so. I don't know, but I mean, he was.
I want to meet her. I want to know who you would change your life for.
After
Like,
he built all this and presented it to her, she didn't want anything to do with him. And here he had this, this huge thing.
Oh,
It's
really?
Fascinating.
I think we got to get the two of them on the
We
air.
got to get a field trip down to Homestead. We have to get down to Coral
We talked
Castle.
about this. Just
Yeah.
relax.
We just gotta
We're almost
do it.
there.
We
We're
are?
almost there.
Oh,
yes.
you're planning it?
Yeah, it was a timing thing. I'm not going to say nothing.
We're all good to go
I'm
now.
waiting on an individual.
Oh, I don't think that individual's going to do it, so
I'm
we're
not going to
just
say
going to go.
nothing because he'll feel bad.
But that's okay. It's okay. It's all free choice.
No, I understand that.
We need to get down to Schnebley's Wine is where we need to go.
and we have to take, yeah. We never got the singer straightened out with Shepley's, and they wanted her to sing.
I gave him Nicole's number.
I know, but did she go down there?
I don't know. When is your box coming out with Nicole? Do you know?
When did she say it goes? The one that they currently have.
34 months.
I think
April.
It comes out in July.
August.
Oh, okay.
Or
for
August.
The, for the
August.
summer.
Is it? Yeah.
August.
This is the summer one.
You're in the August box.
So yeah.
I'm trying to get us in the August box, but she won't return my phone calls.
We'll have to give her a call. Let's take a commercial break. When we come back, maybe Black K is going to fill us in on what he's been doing with his investments, because I know he sits here. He gives us these little nuggets.
You make
sometimes,
money?
Black, yeah.
Yes?
Right now?
Yeah.
Depends on how Dose is doing.
All right,
You're
hold
not
that
making
thought.
money. He's not making
Stay
money.
tuned. We'll be right back.
So, you've been hearing all the exciting buzz and chatter about this new game changer in the pickup and delivery and rideshare space. And now you want to know more. Well, forget everything you knew about the tired old delivery and rideshare services that bully restaurants, take advantage of drivers, and confuse consumers into spending way more than they should. Welcome to a new delivery and rideshare company, Trip Delivers and Trip Rides, where we put you first. When you sign up as a driver with Trip Delivers and Trip Rides, we onboard you with your own credit card merchant account. That's right, with Trip, you're in the driver's seat as an owner-operator of your own business, and you'll always earn 100% of the delivery fee, rideshare fee, cancellation fee, wait time, and tip. And therefore, we charge a low monthly fee to use the Trip platform. For only $39.99 per month, you can sign up as a side hustle driver, allowing you up to 75 rides, 75 deliveries, or 75 of both combined per month. Welcome to a new delivery and rideshare company, where drivers earn more, consumers and riders pay less, and restaurants are charged less. Trip Rides. Going places, doing good.
Kids for Kids Ministry. The vision is to see children in Haiti emerge from extreme poverty into an extraordinary destiny in Christ. The problem is the orphans in Haiti lack clean water to drink and food sustainability. These children need art-integrated education, medical needs, shoes, clothes, a lunch program, and teacher salary aid. The mission is to sponsor local leaders in Haiti to support them in the care of orphans and vulnerable children. In January of 2020, Kids for Kids traveled to Haiti to visit the orphans at their home and at their school. The school has now grown to 30 children attending daily classes, but there are many things to improve upon. To help us or to donate, contact Patty Paget at Kids for Kids Ministry, 561-876-1710. That's Kids for Kids Ministry at 561-876-1710.
Don't know how I'm feeling tonight, but I swear I'm fine. I'm broken inside, don't know where I know I can hide. Don't know how I'm feeling tonight, but I swear I'm fine.
For over 30 years, the acute color sense and masterful presentations of this artist have inspired women worldwide. Barbara's style encompasses it all: bold and brazen, subtle and calming, drawing on unconventional techniques and tools, canvas spinning, scraping, and sandpapering. Her hallmark is highly textured surfaces and playful resin-filled abstracts. Barbara graduated magna cum laude from New York University. She studied at Cooper Union and the Boca Museum of Art. To view her artwork, visit her website at barbarasilvergallery.com or contact her by phone at 917-757-0447 or by email at barbarasilvergallery@gmail.com.
The Spa Facial by Maria has amazing facials, body treatments, and sugar body waxing for any special occasion. All our spa treatments have organic and natural ingredients concentrated just for your skin. We guarantee all natural products help you with that extra feeling of zen. The Spa Facial offers organic facials, foot detox, aromatherapy, manscaping, and face and body waxing. Call the Spa Facial for your spa appointment with Maria at 954-213-5034 or visit her website at thespafacial.info.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Drink to start your summer? Try Gubba Gold and Gubba Silver. It's wicked smooth. I personally love Gubba Gold. I have a bottle at home, and it's the perfect drink to start your summer. And now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
He looks like the most famous man in the world. What was that guy?
The Dos Equis man. He does not look like the Dos Equis man.
He acted like him. He was like Tres Equis.
You know, I think there's a Bitcoin conference in Miami this summer, isn't there?
There is, yeah.
Is this the first one?
This is probably going to be the most famous one.
There's been one every year for however long.
In Miami?
Well, it's the first time in Miami.
Okay.
It's usually in New York and Manhattan. They've definitely been going on since their early, or I don't know, maybe 2013 at least.
So you're gonna
go? Yeah, I'm booked and ready to go. I have my ticket. I got my hotel room.
You should have gotten a booth.
Nah. I'm going. I'm interested in some of the speakers. Are some powerhouse speakers. Hedge fund manager Mike Novogratz.
Do you have a business, right? Mm-hmm. Do they pay you in Bitcoin? Can they pay you in Bitcoin?
I'm sure that there's a way, but
let's assume that it's legal.
My business requires a lot of liquidity. I just wouldn't be able to.
So tell the conference they've got speakers, but hedge funds managers. These aren't just
these are big people. I mean, Chamath, Papa to one of however you pronounce his name. If you know who Chamath is, I mean, there's some big speakers. I mean, the mayor of Miami is going to be there. I mean, and he's just doing every week we're hearing new announcements of how Miami's integrating blockchain, cryptocurrency, and Bitcoin into the city. Every week we're learning about Silicon Valley companies they're leaving Cali and going to Miami. Miami's going to be a big hub for tech in the next 10 years.
You think the stock market, do you think the stock exchange is going to move there? Chicago closed.
They're going to try everything in their power to keep it up in
But
New
yeah,
York.
there's some big speakers I'm looking forward to at the Bitcoin conference, and I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of Twitter internet friends I have. So
So it's full speed ahead. Conference, things are open.
no, this is the real deal. Yeah.
No masks.
Mhm.
Everything's back and open. Back
When
to
is
normal.
it?
Next month.
So June 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Couple weeks.
Yeah.
Well, they're saying July 1st is going to be, I told you July 4th is going to be
Tony
the
Hawk's gonna be
new Independence
really?
Day.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, big Bitcoiner.
So I can see it. I can see it. And, you know, I mean, you either get on and take advantage of the fact, or you're going to say, what is it you always say? Boy, I should have done that investment.
Jay, what's next for you?
Well, for me now, when I'm not here, I am teaching. I'm doing a lot of teaching. I just have a new class starting next Monday at another school. I do after school art classes for elementary students, and then I have private classes during the week, and then on weekends I have classes, group classes for adults and children for doing art. So I'm doing a lot of teaching for that, and now I'm working here. Plus, I'm involved with Skillshare, which is online teaching, and this is a big thing too that, you know, people should check into, because anything you want to learn creative, go to Skillshare online, and for $100 a year you can learn anything you want. You can go to any of these classes and just take lessons in any class that you want.
Do you get paid for people that watch your Skillshare?
Yes, yes. If students sign up to my class, I do get paid for that. So, but there's thousands of teachers who are involved in this, and these teachers are good. You know, you have to have a certain level of expertise before they will allow you to teach on that, and it's mostly people who are specialists in whatever field it is they are teaching, and I've been learning a lot from it, because there are other teachers, except the stuff I want to learn, nobody's really doing it, so that's why I'm on there doing it, because I'm filling in like gaps, teaching things that nobody else is really teaching. But there are teachers that are teaching how to paint everything, or even if you don't know, you want to learn how to paint, they will show you which brushes to use, what kind of canvas when you're doing drawing, what kind of pencils, what kind of paper, everything like that, the basics, the materials you need. I do that with mine. I show the materials that I'm using, the materials I'm doing, and then I give an overview, and then I do lesson by lesson by lesson. The next one that I'm going to be doing is going to be a horse face that is done on black paper with white and gray colored pencil. And I'm going to do each part of the face will be a different lesson on how to create a horse's face.
And you're going to start doing that here, right?
Yes, I am.
When are we starting that?
Yes, very, very soon.
Okay.
And that will be fun too, because I think this is a thing that I think people will when they see it, on how to draw a face of a horse on a black background with doing it this way. It's something that nobody is really doing that much, and so I'm trying to kind of fill kind of a void with the things that I know that I think will benefit other people that can learn from.
To draw?
I can't draw. You can draw. I can't draw. I can't even do stick figures.
Yeah, you can.
No, I can. The arms go one way, the feet go another.
We can do like a fast motion stick figure thing with you.
A fast motion. A fast motion? What's that? Draw it fast?
No, and then you like do little, and then it makes the like stick figure run or the stick
Or
figure jump.
the slippery of the pages. No, I don't do that either.
That could be kind of cool.
Oh, animation?
Yeah, and you sort of take the pages.
I used to do flip pages in
Yeah.
middle school. That was what I did, you know, when I was supposed to be working, I'd do like, you know, flip pages, and I'd have a whole thing by the end.
Me too.
That was,
Do you
that's
think,
how I learned
has
animation.
art changed the past year?
In the past year, I've seen a lot of things now, and I gotta say, because of the last year and the whole quarantine situation and the COVID whole thing, because so many people have had more time to think about what they want to do instead of just being out and just doing their daily lives. They've had more time to concentrate on let's take it a different direction. And I think that I know myself, I have done that quite a bit. I've changed directions a little bit on where I wanted to go, and I think that now I'm happy with the direction that I'm headed, and it was all because I had that time to sit down and really listen to other people, what they had to say about things, and how I interpreted that to move in a forward direction.
Has fear held you back at all, Magic Man?
Me?
Yeah.
Fear. Fear holds everybody back. It's what you learn from it that puts you one step forward.
It's getting over the fear. Everybody has fear, right?
Everybody.
I mean, that's the common thing. Once you can get over that, because everybody has that voice in their head or whatever it is that tells them you're not able to do this.
Do men have that too?
Yeah.
Do men have that too?
Yes. It's not only women, though.
I battle it every single day.
Really?
Straight up. Yeah, I go through it every day with different decisions I have to make with my company, and yeah.
Interesting. I never really thought men dealt with fear on things.
We got you fooled.
Well, I guess you've all got us fooled. You do too, Mike.
I do, yeah. Being honest, yeah. Fear, self-doubt, and you know, I recognize it, and what am I trying to say?
And you overcome it. You overcome. You learn to overcome.
I mean, it's like literally maybe for minutes or an hour, it'll invade my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, ultimately, I'm just that type of person that, you know, I'm gonna push through and do what I gotta do,
Right.
and make decisions that I have to make. So yeah, I think that's normal for everybody to go through, you know.
Oh, it is, but it's what you do with the fear.
That's
if
right.
you can overcome the fear and keep going, and you know, just tell that voice in your head. I hear them. I watch the show, The American Idol, and they're always telling these kids who are coming in and singing, forget the fear. Just do what you got to do. Don't think about what your head is saying to you about it. Just push on. Nobody's gonna, you know, they're gonna think worse if you don't do things. Take chances. And that's the thing about being an artist. You have to take chances. You just can't be happy with
You gotta
status
keep
quo.
going. You gotta
It
take
has
You,
to.
you ever play baseball when you were a kid, or softball, or whatever, a sport, and your parents are telling you, okay, I'm putting you in Little League. When did I ask to be in Little League? Okay, so you go to the field, you meet people, you're having fun, and you get up for that first at-bat as a kid, and you're scared to death. Scared to death. And this guy throws this ball at you going 1,000 miles a minute, coming right at you. Strike, the first strike of your life. First strike of your life. And you strike out. 3 pitches, 1, 2, 3. You go back to the dugout and the manager tells you, it's okay, you'll get him next time. There's a next time? I gotta go up there again? Then you get on the field, they put you in right field because you don't know the difference between a fly ball and a fly. And you're out there. And you say, hey, look at the grass. Wow, is that a bug? And here comes the ball. Freddie, the ball! Oh boy, it's up there. Woo, here it comes. And this is all fear. And this is what you go through as a kid, man.
Kids, yes.
As a kid, the first fear you have is something you think you can't handle. Then along comes my cousin Juji, who's Mr. Macho. He says, "What's wrong with you?" I go, "The ball came at me. Why didn't you catch it?" I froze. It went right over my head and took my hat off. He says, "I'm going to work with you this summer to get rid of the fear." And you believe I'm 59 years old and I still remember my first Little League game. I
do
was
too.
scared to death.
I remember that too. But my fear took over for me when I did it.
The ball almost knocked me out, Jay.
Wait, do you have fear?
Yeah,
Does it hold you back?
something I learned while briefly as a music major is that you are your own worst critic.
Always.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
But you're also your greatest hero.
exactly.
Because when you hit it and people applaud and say your name, you say, "Wow, what the hell did I just do?"
It's getting past the fear when you look back and you go, wow, I did that. And you move on to the next thing and the next thing. My son actually texted me yesterday. He texted me, he calls me Mama. "Mama, you are so powerful and all these amazing accolades. And I love you and I'm so proud of you and you manifest greatness." And I looked at it and I'm thinking, where did this come from? He says, "You don't realize what you've been through in the past 24 hours and what you've overcome and all of these things."
No, you didn't realize that he saw it.
Exactly. But you do what you got to do, and you just keep going, and it's all these. You just because you can't. If you stop when other people need you, then you're no good to anybody.
I talked to my son last night. He lives in Canada, and he is writing a novel, a fiction novel. And he's wanted to do this for a long time, and he's just now really getting into doing this. He's studied all about it. He's taken classes and he's read everything about writing and how to do it correctly and everything to do, but he never did it. And so he finally told me, he says, "I'm finally putting pencil to paper," he says, because he told me, because you inspired me, because you keep going. You just keep going. And he says, "You don't give up." And he says, "So now I'm going to write this book." He says, "I don't care what happens." And he sends me chapters of the book that he's writing. And, and just because I encourage him.
Is there something you want to do that you haven't achieved yet in life?
Many things.
Yeah.
I would, I don't know, if you want to go to bucket list, there's there's a
It's
lot
quite a
of things,
bucket.
But a lot of things, but it's mostly with art related. But I would love to visit the world and see the great masterpieces. I would love to do that. I mean, that would be so much. I mean, even just to spend a day in the Louvre or something like that would just I would love it.
How about you, Mike?
Goals? I mean, You're
young.
I'm pursuing the goals that I, currently have as an entrepreneur and as a business owner. On the fear thing, I think a lot of times, there's a lot of pressure, There's a lot of pressure that we put on ourselves, and that comes from outside circumstances too. We want to impress people, we want to be good in their eyes, we want to be successful, pressure that the world puts on us. I mean, pressure that we all have financially to support ourselves. A lot of my employees don't realize that every single day I'm making crucial decisions for our company, right? Crucial decisions that one bad decision could affect us greatly with our profitability or not.
Well, the stress of that has to be enormous.
I mean, you have dozens and dozens and dozens of employees that rely on you, to make those decisions. And they don't know what's going on behind the scenes. They just see, they just come to work. And
They see the outcome.
You know what I mean? And that's it. And they don't understand that's all on me every single day. And there is a lot of fear and self-doubt that comes with it, But I have to be that guy, and I try to be that guy to push through. Goals, I have goals to just make my company the best. I know that we already are one of the top 3 insurance agencies in South Florida. And ultimately in my life, I want to do a lot of traveling. And I like helping people. That's what I like to do. I want to travel and I want to help people. And I used to do a lot of missions work before I got sick with my ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease. But I'm hoping, if my health remains good in the future, that I can take, some of the, financial blessings that I've attained and do some traveling and help people along the way.
So you and stress have this relationship that sits in your stomach.
It either holds you back or it pushes you forward. I'll let it hold me back for literally a few minutes or an hour, but ultimately it drives me.
I see that in him. He's got this drive to keep going and always help. I mean, what you've done for so many people and help them. You don't get paid for anything you do here. You don't get paid for helping anyone with the Bitcoin. I mean, you're not making money on this. It's not like this is your business.
Right.
You do this because you want to help people.
Yeah, I think it's really important to, I really, I can't, I don't think I've ever believed in Bitcoin as much as I believe in anything in my entire life. And I am a Christian and a believer in Jesus as well, but that's first and foremost, my relationship with God. But next to that, I've never believed in something as much as I believe in Bitcoin and what it can do for the world and what it does do for the world. Right now, countries like Turkey, Nigeria, countries experiencing hyperinflation, countries with corrupt governments, it is a very beneficial monetary technology to the world.
Interesting. If you met with Jesus, what would you ask or say?
Wow.
Jay brought it up, and then Mike reinforced it, so.
If you met with Jesus, what would you ask?
Yeah. What would your conversation be?
Is this like over Skype or?
That's really interesting.
Over Skype or in person?
In person.
You choose where you want to go.
I was always a firm believer that life has many levels, and every day, if you count the days, every day is a different leaf. And I would probably ask him 3 questions. What does yesterday look like? What is today going to look like? And what is tomorrow going to be? And just listen to what he has to say. There's not much conversation you can have with somebody who you want to learn from. So, but it's interesting because my brother once told me, he was in the military, he was in the Navy. He says that he learned that on the other side of fear is greatness. And I never understood what the hell he was talking about. I thought my son was high on PCP or something.
Your brother?
Yeah. I said, Harry, you come back from the military and this is what you... He says, yep. This is what we learned on the ship. He was on the Nimitz. And then he went on to a nuclear carrier and they had a fire on the ship. And the entire Atlantic fleet had to leave this ship in the middle of the ocean by themselves. Because if this thing went off, there would have been a giant hole in the Atlantic and in this country. And it was in the news and everything else. And Harry and his crew had to turn these fires off. And they said to him, on the other side of fear is greatness. If they had given in to fear, there would have been a giant nuclear blast in the middle of the ocean. And because they overcame it, the greatness was they lived. And I never knew what the hell he was talking about until that day. And then Jay, you bring it up, and it just comes back to me now what he meant. On the other side of fear is greatness of what they went through. So,
because fear can hold you back from doing anything. It can make you sick. You can create chaos in your body physically, and then when that situation passes, you realize it either wasn't so bad, you couldn't have changed it, nothing happened. You didn't have to be so fearful, and it was all going to be okay. So the other side of fear is maybe faith or greatness.
I'll bet if you talk to anyone who is great or who has done great things, and athletes or performers or actors or even artists or anything, if you ask them, have they ever experienced fear in their life that they had to overcome, I'll bet you 100% would say yes, they have.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know, that there has been that fear that has been there that tried to keep them back from doing that, and you just have to put your foot down and you just have to tell the fear, get out of my head.
That's it. Blake, yes?
Yeah, I feel like the fear of not trying is when you truly have given up, because if you just at least try and get over that fear, you can feel accomplished at least, even despite what anyone else says about you trying. But if if you don't even consider trying to overcome that fear, you've truly given up.
You got to believe in yourself first.
Yeah.
Makes me think of the mirror with you.
Well, it's funny because you don't want to swallow your fear. You'll get sick. And you are the best and the greatest at what you do. And the quicker you catch up to the truth, the quicker better things will happen in your life.
Amen.
Okay, and the bottom line is that you are great at what you do. And your accomplishments are not from what you witness, but from what others witness. Because they're going to let you know, wow, did you see what you just did? And you're going to say, what did I just do? And that's when you've hit greatness. It's like Freddie Mercury saying, when they sing my song and it's on their lips, you know you've made a mark. I thought that was so real. It isn't what you think to be great at. It's what everybody around you will see. And the masses will learn. You know the story about he fed them with a fish, masses? It wasn't a fish that he fed them. It's faith. It's belief. So believe in you, because he can feed the masses, you can feed yourself. It's just something that I'm also a Christian. I was an altar boy for 11 years. And none of that came into me. None of it. I didn't know anything about it. It made no sense what they wanted to teach me. But life sure as hell did. And life will teach you real quick. Pain and rain and sunshine comes all at once. So it's kind of cool. It's great to see different ages now maybe getting down to business and say, maybe we do have to make a change. Maybe I do have to start believing in myself a little bit more.
A lot more. Yes.
I take a little before I get a lot.
I think, at my age, I think back, and so many times I think, if I'd have just believed in myself more when I was younger, I probably would have been able to create more at a much younger age, but I didn't. I just let fear pretty much, keep me from doing things until I've fortunately lived long enough that I've been able to experience, some good things from overcoming the fear. And an example of that, when I was a kid, I had a terrible fear of heights. I could not even look at a tall building without, it just creeped me out. And I wanted to overcome that because I just didn't want to be afraid of heights anymore. So I started going up into buildings a little bit at a time, trying to get higher buildings and then going over and looking out from a different perspective and seeing that. And then finally I ended up, I wanted to do that. And then I started going up into things like lighthouses and going up and walking around the top of a lighthouse. And doing things like that, I have overcome that fear of heights. Now I love to go up into, big, the sky towers and the big things like that. I can't wait to go to New York City and go up in the Empire State Building.
I got a better challenge for you. I want to put you in a hot air balloon, and I want you to draw something while you're up there.
Hold the paper down.
Oh no, we'll prep the board and everything. All you gotta do is draw it. Because I'm afraid of heights.
I think one of the greatest things I love that we get to do is hopefully get kids out of that fear when they're younger, like doing our podcast class that we get to teach, and put them on air and put them on the mic. No matter what it is that they get to do. There was one little girl we worked with who didn't talk to us for 6 weeks, and she's autistic. And the last week, she talked for 15 minutes into her mic. And just that we got her engaged by our last show there, that made a difference in her life. It's one of the greatest gifts that we get to do, and hopefully she won't now carry that fear, that we made a difference in some of their lives.
It's funny, when I worked at Granite Transformations, I told you there was a 24-karat picture that we had, and this child walked in, and I'm having a conversation with him. And and then we're talking, and his mother stands there. You would have thought that I had robbed this kid. She runs over, she picks up the kid, she starts kissing him, and she runs out. And I said, what did I just do? And the father came over, he says, was my son talking to you? And I said, yeah, we were talking about this. I didn't say anything bad. My son hasn't spoken to anybody in 8 years. True story. I went, what? And he went, he got the president of the company, and they did this whole thing, and they put something in the newspaper. She ran him to the doctor. She took him to his doctor to find out. And the kid started to talk. And everybody was like, what the hell did you tell him?
Yeah, what'd you tell him?
I said, he came over, I said, nice. He says, it's beautiful.
What was it?
It was a 24 karat gold pieces, like what Amy does with her art.
A mosaic, yeah.
Like mosaics. And it was put into it like a sun. And he found it amazing. And I was like, okay, so let's talk about it. Because, you know, I talk to anybody. And the father says, what did you tell him? I said, you like this? It was so funny. That's what they got in the newspaper. You like this?
Imagine if we can stop some of the fear as a child, that when you actually grow and you do what you got to do, you feel empowered.
Well, that was what the doctor said. He was afraid to talk.
And I think, Mike, and you're young. To accomplish what you've accomplished at such a young age is remarkable. Really amazing.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people, I think people look to you for inspiration. I know it's a lot of pressure. But they do on many levels, whether it's financial or business or just the walk that you walk. It's amazing. So you definitely have a calling to help people.
And
Jay, you too.
And Jay, you know, it's interesting. My grandfather once said, if you start late in life, it makes the book richer because the young people will read it. So maybe all of this, all of a sudden now you have the richness of a book. And all these kids, I think what you do is phenomenal. I wish I had known you when I was a kid, or my sons. I would have said, okay, you got to learn this.
Coolest art teacher, right?
It's just unbelievable. And as a person, again, and I know his wife, again, two are the greatest people you ever met. But your book is thick and rich. And when you write it, it will be the young minds that will learn from it. So,
Well, that's what I'm hoping to do, is to pass on the knowledge and the wisdom that I have. I always wondered when I was younger, what is this wisdom stuff that they say old people have? You know, I used to think, why are they so smart? It's because you've lived it. That's it. It's just because you have experienced things.
Yep.
And good or bad, you know, you have really been there. I mean, I have experienced things that kids, there's no way they could have. And that's why I like to pass on little things, so maybe they don't have to go through some of the things that I did to learn.
Right, make your own mistakes. Don't make the ones that you already know the answers to. You can always find Jay's artwork here at Amp Media Production Theater, the Brooklyn Cafe. We are open for business, so let us know. And Jay also does commission pieces, which is exciting. Jay, I think Freddie's going to take your Roman guy and this lovely lady to the station tonight.
we're taking it to the radio station because Jay's art hangs in this room. And there's a lot of horses and black and whites and colors and everything else. And there's a reason behind that, which I think I've spoken about Bobby and his daughter, losing his daughter on a horse ride and everything else. But it just fits. And everybody now, there's more people coming to the radio station.
Yeah, let's open it up.
Little by little. So I want to put the finishing touches on the set with these two pieces to break off the black background. But we are going to be opening up the kitchen area because we want to do some networking opportunities for companies as well at the radio station as well as here. So good things are coming.
More to come. All right. Thanks so much, guys, for joining us. Blake, welcome back. Hey. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Tune in tonight on WWNN, 7 o'clock, to Teddy Unscripted. Tell us your biz. I'm not sure what they're going to be talking about, but that's tonight at 7, followed at 7:30 by Jordana Foster, the Ready, Set, Go Beyond show. See what the word of the day is. Any ideas?
I have no ideas.
We'll see what happens. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Be kind to each other. We'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time.
As always, don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.
In the cold and sleepless nights, I wait for you to bring me back to life. In my electric eyes, it doesn't mean that time can thicken every single breath. I want to unfreeze my heart and fly away. That's why I wanna save it. Your moons and craters. Open up my eyes, waterfalls of ice, sweeping me away like an avalanche. Helpless as I fall, the words can't say it all, sweeping me away like an avalanche, like an avalanche. I listen for a sound, waiting deep inside my maze of sweeping thrills and colors. Just a ray of light, bathing me in drops of ink that gleams across my body. Wish you could unfreeze my heart.